really see.
Okay. Oh, okay. So these, what they doing for the future is air conditioning. They doing that. Yeah, for us too. They doing that. Are we ready? Are we ready? Personnel committee will come to order. Roll call. Present.
Mr. Linda Cheney,
Present.
Ms. Joy Porter,
Present.
Dr. Kelly Joseph,
Here.
Ms. Miranda Watson, Ms. Donna Jackson.
Okay, first item, receive personnel updates and workforce dashboard. Ms. Miranda Watson, HR supervisor.
Good evening. We're going to start with the personnel report. We were pretty busy last month trying to make sure we get everything ready for our kids. So you'll see we have several positions that we're hiring for. And then we had 6 resignations. One of those resignations I wanted to point out was one of the people we just hired. So they came in the first day and left the first day. First day of, for the kids, the learners to come back. And then we had some transfers at the ELC campus and from the ELC to SHADA. You'll see those transfers listed there. And then we had 2 terminations. At the bottom, you'll see what the positions we're advertising for. At the Early Learning Center, we have the SPED position that just became vacant yesterday, actually. We're still looking for a vocal music teacher. At the College and Career Academy, we are advertising for assistant principal, a SPED teacher that resigned yesterday, and an ELA teacher that has never shown up. And then we're also advertising for 1 custodian at the College and Career Academy. Any questions so far? So we're gonna move on to the dashboard report. And I gave you both. I gave you July's report and also I'll give you August report so you can see some of the changes that took place. One thing I did want to point out that because we were overstaffed and we didn't have the learner count up at each school, we lost 1 position at each school based on their grade level. At the Early Learning Center, it was the pre-K position. We have 2 pre-K positions now. At the Arts and Technology Academy, it was the 3rd grade. Then at the College and Career, it was the ag position that is being also taught by one of the other teachers on campus.
So what teacher is teaching it? Can I ask that name?
I can give it to you later.
Well, it's not on the dashboard. There was a position that was open. It's not here. I can see it that way, but I don't see it. I'll get with you after.
Okay. Actually, she was on last month's report, but I'll get it to you.
If it's the one I'm thinking, I saw, you know.
Okay. All right. We'll talk about it. And then you'll see where we're also, the staffing percentages now. At the Early Learning Center is 94%. At the Arts and Technology Academy is 95%. And at the College and Career Academy is 94%. The vacancies are 2 at the College and Career, 1 at Early Learning Center, and 1 at Arts and Technology.
2 at the College and Career?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right.
So the 2 at the College and Career, that's ag and what?
No, it's SPED and
The
ELC.
SPED.
Mhm.
So you know what my question is? So because I wanted for the record.
Okay.
So all these teachers that are new hires have reported to work
Yes.
as of today,
As to
August
my,
the 8th.
yeah, to my understanding, yes. Well, let me look back on it here. 1 has not. 1, 2. 2 has not. Because you see the start effective dates on the right.
Oh, okay. So one's supposed to come, no, that's not a teacher though.
Mm-hmm.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. supposed to
So you
report
have a
on
teaching
Monday?
assistant, 1, 2,
All these supposed to report on Monday?
yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Any more questions? Thank you.
That concludes the personnel committee. Budget and finance will come to order. Roll call.
Mr. Bell,
Present.
Mr. Tiny,
Present.
Ms. Rowena Porter,
Present.
Dr. Kelly Joseph.
Here.
Ms. Ashley Castle. Ms. Tracy Womack.
Present.
Okay. Receive and consider for approval transportation contract for the period of July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025 with Martin Hayes.
Good evening, committee and board members. We are again asking for renewal of the contracts with, and if you want to take them both together, they're the same, with Morton Etcher Service and Morgan Transportation to provide transportation services through contract. The reason that we're just not bringing them is because we had required that they bring in documentation of the inspections and registration, different documentation, make sure that they were ready for the school year. And so they've all provided it, and we're ready.
With no increase, same price, correct?
No increase.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? So we're going to take both of these contracts together. Can I get a motion?
I move that we'll receive number 3 and number 4 collectively.
Okay, I have a motion to approve them collectively. Could I get a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other questions? No, we'll take a vote.
Ms. Virginia Bell.
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Yes.
Ms. Rowena Porter,
Yes.
3-0 motion carried first reading.
Thank you.
Okay, number 5, receive and consider for approval SHPSD campus renovations, change orders 3, 4, and 5. I have a question about number 5. When I looked at it, it seemed like it said the total change order, like it was somewhere around 480,000 total. I said, this can't be right. I said, I must not be reading this right. Cumulative, must be like a cumulative.
Yeah,
change order. Is that right?
over the life of the project,
Over the life?
if you recall, the biggest issue was when we found the asbestos
I remember
at the
that.
gym floor. That was
I remember
200 and some, so, I mean, that's the chunk of the whole project. Other than that, we would have finished under the normal figure of change order. We would have finished well under it.
You
But-
would've been, because
Yeah,
this
but
is
that-
probably over the like the.
Well, in other words, not,
So
it's
you
in
can
it.
put a cap on it. Don't we put a cap on the contract on?
Normally, the government don't want you to spend no more of the government's money than 15%.
15%, yeah.
But I think we're still under that.
We're still
Even
good.
with that, you remember, this is a $6 million project. So you're talking about 400,000 as opposed to $6 million. So you're well under that number. But once again, the biggest chunk came when we had that just pop out on us.
Yeah, and I saw the others like little paint, like 1,200
Yeah, well,
something. They're minimum, right?
we're trying to close out. And one of our vendors, the intercom people came and moved speakers, and boom, where they had the speaker, they moved the speaker, now we got paint behind it. So it's stuff like that.
Do we know when it's gonna finish? When are they gonna be done?
We are looking at finishing, we hope, by the end of this month. We have furniture coming in October, and once we get to school, we have some things that we want to do to get the school ready for fire marshal report, so we need a little time for that. So we thinking, October move-in date
Okay.
to get everything done.
And please don't rush them, because we want to.
And that's where Dr. Joe made that decision today, that we want to press them to do what they're supposed to do, which is what we're doing. We are having to be on them more because we're seeing things as things come finished. We're seeing things, so we on them more, but we're not gonna rush it. We're gonna be sure it get done
Right,
right.
we don't want them to leave and then say, oh, look what happened.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
so
exactly,
let's be very cautious. Keep that
absolutely,
in mind.
absolutely.
I so move.
Okay, I got a motion. Are we gonna do, are we doing just 5 or 6, 5 and 6? Okay. You move for 5 and 6?
Do
You
them
motion?
collectively,
Okay.
5 and 6.
Okay, we have a motion to approve items 5 and 6 on the change order.
Second.
Okay, we have a second. Any other questions? We take a vote?
Mr. Julia Bell,
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Yes.
Ms. Lolita Porter.
Yes.
Please do a motion carry refer to the full board to vote.
That concludes, yes, that concludes the budget and finance.
Policy committee's called to order. Roll call.
Mr. Alton Travis.
Here.
Ms. Joyce Porter,
Present.
Mr. George Hughes,
President.
Dr. Kelly Joseph,
Here.
The only item we have is receive and consider for approval request to schedule a special board meeting to receive 22 and 23 audit report.
Yes, I'm requesting that we do have a special board meeting. We do not want to go past this month without you all receiving the audit report. That is also based on the legislative auditors. They did receive an extension to finish the report, but we cannot go past August. And I pressed for the company that is, completing our audit, Bruno and Tervalon, to complete it before the end of August. So I'm requesting that, and if you all are okay with it, looking at Thursday, August 29th as a possible date.
I have a question. Was this something that we did here or that they did that we didn't get it?
It's nothing that we did, no. As a matter of fact, I found out today that the person who was in charge of doing the audit here in the district resigned from the position. So they have to hire someone else
Right.
and have to, try to catch back up.
What's the date again?
August 29th.
What time?
It's up to you.
6 o'clock.
It's up to you.
Can I get a motion?
I second.
Been moved and seconded. We have the special board meeting August 29th at 6 for the audit report. Any further discussion? Vote?
Mr. Alton Travis.
Yes.
Ms. Joyce Porter,
Yes.
Mr. George Hughes,
Yes.
please do a motion carry refer to the full board to vote.
That concludes the policy committee. Building and grounds committee's called to order. Roll call.
Mr. Alton Travis,
Here.
Ms. Joyce Porter,
Present.
Mr. George Hughes,
President.
Dr. Kelly Joseph,
Here.
Mr. Edward Bell.
Here.
Item is receive and consider for approval proposal from Curtis Environmental Utilities Incorporated to provide sanitary system for Shadow and ELC.
Yes, board and committee, in lieu of Mr. Donald Langston stepping away from that position, this is a new person. Mr. Langston will not be doing it anymore. He's asked to be relieved of his duties. So this is a gentleman that is from.
Yes, as you all know, Curtis Environmental, they already submit our samplings quarterly, and so we reached out to them as well as other companies to get price on doing the work that Mr. Donald was doing, and they have submitted 2 quotes, and we would like to accept the quote for the twice a month to come out, and that's $550 a month for 8 months. And then 3 months, it'll be $620 because there's other reports that they have to submit. And then 1 month, it's $850 because there's a quarterly and an annual report that has to be reported. So it's a total annual cost of $7,110. Substantial increase from Mr. Donald, but it's necessary, it's DEQ required.
And Mr. Donald has been at that rate for so long. it's just we've got it covered.
Is he still with Greensburg, or he's?
He is trying to put somebody in his place unsuccessfully. They have somebody, but not at the caliber. It's really hard to replace him.
And I will say this, the other company that I met with, their quote was substantially higher than what Curtis Environmental quoted us.
And what work does this entail?
Oh, it's very detailed.
Just a little snippet, highlight, overall summary.
Well, okay, so 2 times per month, they're gonna visit
Each site.
each site, 2 sites. Then they'll provide the tablet and chlorine. They'll do the reporting, the sludge cost, I'm sorry. Mr. Galma, you wanna come help me out here a little bit?
Yeah, well, the sewer systems
Yeah,
at those sites, that, at those sites, we still have the ponds, we still have the treatment plants. They're gonna service those plants, they're gonna inspect those plants, and they're gonna file the necessary reports with DEQ.
ELC has a pump.
They still have the pond. Yes, they still have the pond. You know the old pond down the hill, that's still our pond.
Oh, okay. I know.
That's our moccasin and rattlesnake.
and I can't read you their.
Never mind. I mean, I just wanted a summary of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, they do have a summary in the sheet and what all services they will be providing.
I'm so moved.
Been moved and seconded to refer this item to the full board. No further discussion. Vote
Mr. Alvin Travis.
yes.
Ms. Joyce Porter.
Yes.
Mr. George Hughes.
Yes.
3-0 motion carried. Refer to the full board to vote.
That concludes the Building and Ground Committee.
Education Committee will come to order. Roll call.
Ms. Louisa Porter.
Present.
Ms. Virginia Bell.
Present.
Ms. Linda Cheney.
Present.
Dr. Kelly Joseph.
Here.
Ms. Valdez.
Present.
Ms. Lucille Brown. Here. Ms. Christy Nettles. Here. Dr. Joshua John Paul.
Here.
Ms. Singleton.
Okay, receive and consider for approval pupil progression plan update to include weighted skills.
So good evening, board. Sorry, I thought I was supposed to present in the next section. What Ms. Nettles is handing you on the back side of the paper shares what we are doing with our weighted skill chart. So last school year, we had 1 skill chart. So if you look, it says at the top where it was divided by assignments. For this coming school year and beyond, we're moving that skill chart to content area. So it'll be content specific instead of just having that 1 chart like we were before. But all of the content areas will be from grades 3 through 12. May review those, but we'll still keep a minimum of 18 grades for those assignments as well.
And those skills that are listed are aligned with what is required on LEAP 2025.
Yes.
That's why we, made sure that we put that information in there and weighted those assignments, those skills accordingly.
So they'll actually be graded more than once. So the states grade them, and we're going to grade them daily as well within those same standards. And also, we are also adding, if you look at the very bottom, it says promotion and classification for page 14. We are also adding the statement to our pupil progression plan. A learner must be enrolled in his or her entire 11th and 12th grade years to be eligible for valedictorian and salutatorian honors. All courses during these 2 years must have been obtained at our high school, St. Helena College and Career Campus, College and Career Academies campus, or as a part of a concurrent enrollment program. Any questions? All right, that's it for the pupil progression plan.
Okay. Can we get a motion?
I so move.
I'm sorry. Second. Okay, next item. Receive and I'm sorry. I'm going ahead of myself. Go ahead.
Ms. Lolita Porter,
Yes.
Ms. Virginia Bell,
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Yes.
3-0 motion carried, refer to the full board to vote.
All right, next item, receive and consider for approval, St. Helena Parish School District Internship Memorandum of Understanding.
Yes. Board, you have in your packet, the internship MOU that we have to put together in order for us to begin going into partnerships with different business and industry in the community. So this MOU just lists all of the requirements for the learner and for the business partner, and also for the school district representative. So there's a list of things that we need to make sure are in place before the learner is hired with that particular company. So if you don't have any questions about the MOU, I'm asking that you, I'm asking for approval of this document.
Did that language come from the state, the school?
Yes, well,
Their requirements are incorporated in there.
yes.
Okay.
Actually, I looked at EBR's MOU
Okay.
and just, you know, tailored it to what we need in our district. As far as with parents, it would be about providing transportation.
They would have
if
to
they
sign
want to.
off though.
Yes,
Okay.
That's a
yes,
section.
parents would absolutely have to sign off on all of this. And this is preparing us for the 25-26, accountability that will be implemented by the state. So we are trying to get a jump start with this and establishing those partnerships with as many businesses. As you know, I've met with the hospital board, I've met with the police jury, I plan on meeting with the Economic Development Board just to spread the word and do a call to action within the community, because we do need to place these, these kids in these positions, because it will impact us, with accountability. So I'm asking for approval for the MOU.
I second.
Well, this concludes our education.
Ms. Lolita Porter,
Yes.
Ms. Virginia Bell,
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Yes.
3-0 motion carried, refer to the full board.
Now, that concludes our education committee.
Moving right along. Can you bring some stuff to bring? Lead us in prayer.
Most gracious and heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for this night, Lord. We thank you for education in St. Helena Parish, dear Heavenly Father, Lord. Thank you for the school board members, for Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Joseph, and all the employees who are assembled here this evening, Lord. As the young people prepare for their school year, I ask that you will give them open minds and open hearts to be the best learners that they can be this school year, and that teachers will meet them where they are, guide them, strengthen them, empower them, and encourage them throughout this academic year. It is in your name that I and we pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The meeting will come to order. We are now holding a meeting of the St. Helena Parish School Board. Roll call.
Ms. Joyce Porter,
Present.
Ms. Lolita Porter,
Present.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Present.
Mr. George Hughes, Ms. Virginia Bell,
Present.
Mr. Alton Travis,
Present.
Alderman Gibson.
Item B, approve minutes and agenda from July the 11th, 2024 committee meeting, July 11th, 2024 regular board meeting, and the current agenda. Can I get a motion to
I
approve those
move that
collectively?
we approve these collectively.
Motion by Mr. Alton Travis. Second by Mr. George Hughes. Any questions? No questions, shall pass by general consent. Item C, new business. Presentation from Southeast Community Health System Youth Mobile Crisis Program.
We have Ms. Nanette Bester from Southeast to present to you all today.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nanette Bester. I'm the Director of Outreach for Southeast Community Health Systems. And I just wanted to present this program to you. I have with me here our CEO, Alicia Safran, and Cynthia Walls, who is the Outreach Specialist for the Greensburg area. And of course, y'all know Ms. Erica Porter back here. So what I wanted to to introduce to everyone is a new program that we have coming up. So you guys have the folder, right? So let me give you a disclaimer before I ever get started. This program is not yet off the ground. We're still waiting. So the brochures and the information that you have, please do not share it with family, with the parents in the community, because they will start calling. and it is not ready. We already have people doing that. So I just want to let you know that the information, I'm sharing it with you for informational purposes only. So the Youth Mobile Crisis Response and the Community Brief Crisis Support is a two-part program. It is Youth Mobile Crisis, where we have been awarded the participation in this program by the state, and for our children who are in crisis, and which I'm sure you guys have a lot of that in the school district, we will now be able to service those children where they are, whether it's at school, at home, anywhere that the children have a crisis or goes into a crisis situation. All you have to do is call us, and we will make sure that we come to see about the child. Also, the second part of that program is the community brief crisis support. And I know, I hate to lick old wounds, but you guys know what happened here before. That could be considered like the community crisis, and we can be dispatched to handle those type of situations as well, regardless of whether it's in the school, in the community, anywhere that is, we can service that situation as well. So this program, like I said, is available 24/7, 365 days a year. We do not have a day off. So if the child is at home, if it's over the holidays, then we can come and go to the homes and visit the children. So we're working closely with law enforcement in the different parishes. Law enforcement, we're working closely with EMS, all of the emergency response, so that if they receive a call for a child that's in crisis, then we can receive that call. So if they're going out to see a child, we want to be there too. So the hope in all of this is to, if it can be done, for us to go instead of the police officer, because we all know when we have children that are in crisis, a lot of time it's the first person that they see is the police officer. They shut down, or either it gets worse. So if that's the case, then we want to be able to be the first person that they see, so that we can kind of take care of the situation without police officers being on site. So we are working with those agencies as well. So the goal in this for us is to have it where we want to keep kids out of juvie. We do not want to see them, and we want to see them in school. We don't want to see them hospitalized unless it's necessary for them to be hospitalized. So we will do there's a couple of parts to this. If you look over there, what happens, the initial contact, we will have someone, we will receive the call, we will vet the call to see what the actual crisis is. Then we will do a screening. We will have someone go out to do a screening, or if it's in school, we could do the screening here. If it's at home, we'll do the screening so that we can better understand what the needs are. And then there's an assessment. So once the assessment is done, we make sure that we have the right support there for the children, and then the intervention. So we will have what we call a youth family support specialist, and we will have a therapist. So the therapist, once they determine what the needs are of the child, then we can then bring out our resources. Hey, if there's something that we could do to keep the child at home, keep the child in school, then we're good. But if the therapist say, hey, I feel like this child needs further evaluation, then if they don't have a therapist, then we would assist them in getting a therapist. So all of our kids don't have therapists. But for the ones that do have therapists, we try to work with that therapist, work with the school district to do whatever we can to keep that child in school, if possible.
And I also just want to, because we've been a partner with the St. Helena School District for over 2 decades, providing school-based health services. So we do have school-based health centers on site, but of course, all of the educators in the room know that we need a signed consent form from the parents, and that's a lengthy consent form. On the multiple crisis side, there's a 1-page consent form. And the child, however the child presents, the definition of crisis is very broad in the brochure. If it's stress, if it's anxiety,
that could be considered a crisis, and the school level staff, Dr. Joseph, have the ability to determine that that's a crisis. And then for us to be able, even if they're not enrolled as a student through Southeast in the school-based health centers, we can still provide assistance on the crisis side. So there's, like as Nanette shared, there's gonna be 2 individuals. We have what's called family peer support specialists. Those are individuals who themselves or their children have experienced crises throughout their life. Those crises, they have been trained and they are certified to come in and assist. The program, as Nanette shared, has 2 purposes. One is to keep young people out of the emergency department. When we go to the ER, they treat the symptom. They don't treat the root cause. The second is to keep them out of inpatient hospitals. The Louisiana Department of Health, Office of Behavioral Health, did extensive research to find that a lot of our young people are being admitted to inpatient facilities, and there's not a lot of them available to give them somewhere where they will need help. We're hoping that this program, as Nanette said, will help our young people stay in school and help to keep them and their families out of crisis. And this program not only involves just the young people, but the family as a collective.
And so we're in Regions 2 and 9, so we have a dedicated phone line for our Region 9. And so our Region 9 office will be dispatched out of the Independence office, but we have staff already on site here. But there is if you look in your folder, there's going to be a Region 9 number where if you call that number, it goes directly to Southeast. Well, everybody knows you can always dial 988, but if you call us directly, then we will definitely get the call and we can dispatch, quicker than if it has to go through that 988 number. So that 985 number, 247-0816 will be the number that we call. So the goal, Dr. Joseph, if we can, to work this program, we have, I put a copy of one of our magnets in there. We want that on every child's refrigerator. We as many of them as we can, so that in the middle of the night, if a parent realize that their child is experiencing, all they got to do is go there, pick up the number, and give us a call. So that is the goal for us, is to try and reach every parent within this school district to let them know about this program and let them know that we are available to assist them if they need it.
At no cost. There is no cost.
Any questions for us?
And it's new, so bear with us. We just, we knew,
Yep.
we knew the need existed, so we jumped in the water and we're gonna learn how to swim.
So before you ask any questions, board, I just want to say thank you all so very much. Southeast has been a really valuable asset partner to the school system. You know, as Ms. Bester stated, you know, when we had our crisis last year, and we're coming up on a year, they provided top-tier supports for all of our employees and our learners. So we are very grateful and appreciative of everything that they have provided. This is a game changer for us. We have lots of kids in school that experience, you know, a crisis. They break down, they have, you know, the meltdowns in class, you know, during the school day. And, you know, we struggle to try to provide assistance to those kids at that time. And a lot of times, and I know Ms. Valdez can attest to it, that we have to call the ambulance service, and then they go to a hospital. And that, you know, and we try to provide as much support as we can to the families. This really will help de-escalate, it'll help support, and then after it's over, provide the necessary supports, you know, moving forward. So thank you so very much for offering this service to us. We are excited about it, and I'll try my best not to share. I'm gonna have to put it away for a while.
Right, because as soon as we get the clearance, trust me, we're gonna blast it, we're gonna let everyone know who is engaging in the MOU with us. We just reach out to everybody and say, hey, we're up, we're running, you know, it's okay to share. Let's try to get this to as many people as we can.
And it shouldn't be long. We're just waiting for our licenses from the Louisiana Department of Health, Office of Behavioral Health, to be a provider.
Questions, comments?
Thank you all so much.
Well, Ms. Walls, Ms. Porter, Dr. Cyprian, and Ms. Bester, thank you all so very much for coming out this evening and sharing this wonderful news with us. We're excited about it, and we look forward to working with you in this endeavor. Thank you.
Item D, Director's Reports.
So good evening again, board. So I would like to share some attendance data with you. As you know, we all just started school, so I just have a few items to share. I've also listed our 23-24 district enrollment numbers for you to compare as well. From 23-24, our district enrollment was 1,039 learners. This year
Wait,
it
Ms. Brown,
is.
hold on a second.
I'm sorry.
So if you,
It's
she
on the
already
front.
passed out the packet for you.
My apologies. It's on the front of the first sheet.
Go ahead, Ms. Brown.
Okay. For this school year, we have 1,028 learners, so it looks like we lost 11 learners for our school district. Also for St. Helena Early Learning Center, we currently have 278 enrolled with 30 no-shows. Now, when I say no-shows, that doesn't mean those kids are not coming back to our district, so I didn't subtract that number from our district enrollment. That just means they hadn't came to school yet. So they'll probably start Monday, and we'll continue to do our work after that as well. For St. Helena Arts and Technology Academy, we currently have 296 learners enrolled with a total of 46 no-shows so far. For St. Helena College and Career Academy, we have 454 learners, 7th through 12th, enrolled with a total of 102 no-shows. So our next steps for the no-shows, our truancy officer has been given this list, and he will start doing his homework so we can start finding out where these kids are located. Even if they're transferred, we need that legitimate documentation showing that they're going to another school. So we are working on those no-shows. Any questions?
I guess so when if and when they find out if these kids transfer, please try to get the other school the paperwork that they need as soon as possible
Yes.
to them?
Yes, we definitely put a process in place for that. So
Okay.
our secretaries are handling it. They definitely have a 72-hour turnaround, so
Okay.
no later than 3 days.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Any questions? I'm sorry. Any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Brown.
Good evening, board.
Long time no see.
All right. So what Dr. John Paul is passing out to you is a breakdown of learners, the count of learners, and then the count of teachers for our exceptional services department. At ELC, we currently have, and this is an estimate, our numbers are not, this is not, this is not the final count. You know, we still have kids that are enrolling, learners that are dropping from our system. As of right now, we have 16 learners at ELC, 52 at SHADA, 73 at the College and Career Academy. It's broken down for you there. We have 49 talented art learners, 5 gifted learners. This is grades 4 through 12, and then 1 talented theater learner. We're staffed in all areas, in all grade levels, with the exception of 2nd grade and 7th grade, and that just happened. We were fully staffed. We have 2 vacancies now as of this week in those 2 grade levels. We are actively interviewing for candidates, so those positions should be filled hopefully in the coming days. Any questions for me?
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Good evening, board. I would like to share some details about summer learning data. Ms. Valdez is passing out the information. We use iReady platform for summer learning, and we also use iReady Standard Mastery assessment to measure the learner progress. During the first week of summer school, a pre-test was administered to see where they are, to identify their strengths and weaknesses. And every week, at the end of every week, they had the weekly assessment. And during the last week of summer learning, the post-test was administered to see how they progressed over the period of 4 weeks. And as you see for ELA, you can see across the board, you can see the progress, nearly more than 30% difference you can see on the post-test. Except the 6th and 7th grade, even though they have shown the progress, it is kind of like the difference is less. As far as math standard mastery assessment, the post-test assessment, you can see the progress across the board. All grade levels have shown the improvement, except the 4th and 7th, they have shown the minimal progress. At the back of the paper, you can see the attendance data throughout the summer learning program. As you see, at the beginning it was less, and over the period of time it increased. And you can see again towards the end, the last day it was kind of like less. Any questions?
Good evening, board. You received some information from Ms. Brown regarding our summer reading program and our 2024 literacy bash. So I'm just going to take a few minutes to chat a little bit about our summer reading program. To keep our learners engaged in reading and responding to text, the summer reading program is an online reading assignment. It is located on the district website. And our goal is to encourage reading, improve literacy skills, and foster a lifelong love for reading. So our summer reading program opened on May 25th online, and it closed on July 26th. All learners completing their assignment by July 26th were eligible to attend the Literacy Bash. 262 learners completed the assignment by July 26th. We opened the assignment back on August 5th, and an additional 69 learners completed that assignment. What is the Literacy Bash? It is tomorrow. The 2024 Literacy Bash will be held on August 9th from 9 to 1 o'clock at the 5th Ward Recreation Center. And it is our way of celebrating the learners who completed the summer reading assignment and learners who scored mastery and advanced on the LEAP 2025 assessment. We have 353 learners attending. That's 262 learners for the summer reading program and 91 learners who scored mastery and advanced. We have support from sponsors like ExxonMobil, Shell, Capital Area United Way, and Demco. We're providing our learners with a fun-filled day of food, giveaways, water slides, and games. But this day is aimed at promoting literacy and our exceptional achievement of our learners. So that is tomorrow. We look forward to that.
Thank you, Ms. Neville. Good evening, Board. Good evening. Here to give you some information for the participation for lunch. Our first week, first couple of days, we had like two grades per school. For ELC, we had a total for that day. We put out 198. That's combined with breakfast and lunch. Shadow, we did like 155. High school was 258. Total for that day was like 611. For the 6, we did. I'm just gonna give you the week total. We did daily meals was 634, with Shadow being the highest. On the 7th, we did 901 because all the learners was back. High school always have very low participation. They only had 78. On today, all the learners was back, so we got to see the big increase. We had 1,515 meals went out today. So for this whole total week for 4 days, we had a total of 3,607 meals, and we're looking for that to increase. We are working on our high school because that's the school that has the lowest participation. We are doing things like we're working with the vendors. I thought I was going to get all the new product in, but we're having some problems with it. Hopefully we can kick it off for September. We're doing like manager specials. Some of the manager specials might be fried catfish, drumettes, just to get our high school. And we're not going to leave our little babies out. We're going to get them some too. Just to try to pump the high school, because that's a different set of students. They don't like to eat. They want to be pretty and handsome and all that good stuff. So we're trying to reach out to them too. But we're working really hard trying to bring new stuff, introduce them to new stuff in the district. Any questions?
Good evening, Board again. I'm presenting for Ms. Donna Jackson as she's not here. On the left side of the folder, Ms. Baldes is sharing. You can see all the professional development training that happened during the first and second week of the year beginning. During the week of July 29th, all the leaders, the directors presented from their department, and the key focus was on outcomes. They presented the department responsibilities and roles of each department personnel, and also the outcomes that impacted the learners, and also the updates for the new school year from LDOE. And on the right side, you can see the staff training that happened that following week. The teachers had training on different platforms like Microsoft Teams, Within Wisdom, Social Studies, which is a new curriculum, BioBridges, and Zern, PhD Science, and Open Sci, Eureka Math Square are two new curriculum that we will be implementing this year. And also, the teachers were trained on the NIT new rubric we are switching from compass to leads. So they were trained on different components and descriptors and indicators from the LDOE rubric. Any questions?
Thank you, Dr. John Paul.
Good evening again. Just a little recap. We are slowly bringing the ship into shore on the ELC. We've been working on that project for now about 18 months. And we are excited about going back into that school. I don't know if any of y'all looked. It really looks good around there. It really looks good around there. And we started at our other schools. We managed to get our floors where we're satisfied with them and get the place looking like we care about education. So school's open. We still have some little tweaking to do after this first week. We only got one call for air conditioning unit being out, which is a great thing when it's 100 degrees. As we said earlier, we have a couple change orders that we're getting done at the ELC now. We managed to get through the summer. We were only operating with 5 maintenance people. We're supposed to be at 8. We operate with 5. We still have 6, but 1 has been out on extended leave since March. So we've been working without that person. So I want to use this moment to give a special thanks to the people that did show up and not grumble too much, because we're asking them to do twice as much and twice as fast. So once again, we're off and running. And do you have any questions?
Mr. Garland?
Yes, sir.
It's unusual, but you were friends with him, would you take this moment to say something about it?
Yeah, absolutely. My time here, I've been here 3.5 years now. I inherited a young man that I did not know he was the age that he was until his untimely passing. Mr. Sharkey, Mr. Chase Sharkey, a man beyond his years. I never saw 35 or 40 trucks at St. Helena. We didn't need that. They've grown a business to service both Livingston Parish and St. Helena and all kinds of businesses in between. Always coming to keep the kids cool when I call. Once again, that testimony, I said to open up first day and only have 1 classroom in the whole district, that we had to address the PTAC. And they're old in that building, and just one of them just went out. So having said that, he lost his life, but we want to, as a district, continue to work with that family and the business. They've done a wonderful job, and they're our own. They're from the parish. I went to the service, and I have sat at the ball games with the Sharkey family. You know, these are people that we know and love, and he's gonna be missed because he was something special. And I come to find out he was born 5 days before my oldest son, Ed Jr., same year, 1987. But when I worked with him as a man, he was well beyond his years. Always came as soon as I called. And so hats off to that family, and we'll remember him forever.
Next item, superintendent's report.
Good evening, community. Good evening, board. Just want to, piggyback off of what Mr. Goldman said about Mr. Chase Sharkey. He was a pleasure to work with. He would come into my office every Christmas with his, ham, and would share that, and he was so proud of that, right? And it was a nice moment because it was just, just him, just giving back, and just being thoughtful and friendly, and the conversation that we had around that time was very special. And so we'll always remember him and, the things that he did for, our kids. And there were some things that he did that I'll always remember. So just want to say, we want to continue to keep his family in our prayers, and just please, tragic incident, but we all know that he's in a much better place at this time. So please keep the family in your prayers. So let's pivot now. I have a couple of things that I want to share with the board. First, I want to thank our directors for presenting their very brief presentations to you all. This was not any fluff. This was actual data that, you all can take a look at your leisure when you, have time to look at all of the documents. But I want to thank them very much for that presentation. At this time, I want to introduce our administrative staff from the schools. We'll start off with the Early Learning Center with Ms. Smith, who is the principal at our St. Helena Early Learning Center, and she will have the honor of introducing the assistant principal.
Good evening, board, community. Thank you. I'm the proud principal of the ELC. I'm so thankful that I've inherited a very great staff that Ms. Donna Jackson has left to me, and I am looking forward to having the privilege of leading them this school year, them and these learners. So I'm very blessed. I would like to introduce to you my new assistant principal, Ms. Sheila Thompson.
Good evening. I'm just excited to come aboard to work with Ms. Smith so we can dive into what's going on the campus, so we can increase these learner scores. So I'm glad to be here. Be part of the district.
All right. Next, we will have the staff from the St. Helena Arts and Technology Academy, Mr. Bernard McPherson.
I'm privileged to stand before you as the proud principal of the greatest place in America, Arts and Technology Academy. I wear it with pride. I wear it on my chest, and I thank you for the honor and the privilege to serve in this capacity. Our daily scripture for today talked about the Lord ordering our steps, and I'm glad that this year we have everyone on the same path, trying to get toward the same destination. So unfortunately, our disciplinarian, Ms. Wright, had a family matter that just popped up at our parent orientation, so she was not able to be here, but I'm glad for all of the years that she has served in this district and with our school site. We will pivot to our newest hire in our administrative sector, Mrs. Wendy Young. She has served as an ESS teacher, and she truly has a heart for children, and she really wants to see our learners succeed. She wants to see our educators be effective, and she wants to reinstill positive public confidence. So at this time, I'll let her stand before you and introduce herself. The incomparable Mrs. Wendy Young.
Greeting board, community members, all staff in this, our illustrious community that we have here. We service in St. Helena. I stand before you guys. I'm elated to be in this role as an administrator. Like Mr. McPherson said, I made a career change, deciding to become an educator. I have roots in the parish, very proud of my roots. Like you said, I had the opportunity to serve as an exceptional student service teacher for 5 years, and now I'm an administrator, so I consider myself to be homegrown within the district, starting in my course here. I had the opportunity to lead the initiative for our equity committee, spearheaded by Dr. Joseph. Very proud of everything I learned in that journey. And again, just Mr. McPherson, he highlighted, he said it, I'm very passionate about seeing our learners step into society, being productive members of society. And again, I'm vested in the mission that we have for our learners. Please know that I'm eager and I'm excited to just take off and just do what I need to do. Thank you.
Before we move on to our College and Career Academy, I just want to point out that Ms. Young and Ms. Thompson are both what I would consider homegrown, right? Ms. Thompson was in second grade. She taught first grade at the Early Learning Center before becoming the principal. And Ms. Young, as she stated, assistant principal. And Ms. Young was the exceptional services teacher before becoming the assistant principal at the Arts and Technology Academy. So we believe in growing our own and giving them the opportunity to advance. And because, they've been here and they understand the expectations, they love the kids, they're here because they want to be here. And so, it's only fitting that we give them the opportunity to advance. So with that, we want to now bring up Ms. Strickland and her staff from St. Helena Arts and Technology Academy, College and Career Academy, what did I say? I'm sorry. Mr. McPherson, that's your fault.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to say I'm blessed to be here still. I enjoyed January through May, of course. Over the summer, it was a lot learning how to make sure we were staffed and ready for the school year. In the past 2 or 3 weeks with our teachers first and now our learners this week, it has truly been a blessing. Pouring into teachers, I'm going to go that route tonight because today I've met with teachers all day and helping them get their first full week of lesson plans ready for next week. So it's been a blessing to work with them, and it has definitely been a blessing to have an admin staff with me. The first one I want to introduce, of course, is my assistant principal, Miss Letitia Brumfield. She joined us 3 weeks ago, and she jumped in feet first. She hasn't had a break since, so I'll let her speak.
Good evening, board and community members. First, I would just like to take this opportunity to thank you all for extending myself to afford me the opportunity to serve as an educational leader here in your parish. As Ms. Strickland has advised you all, I have literally met my step count every day since school has started, and even before then. I had our first PLC of the year last year, and I received positive feedback. Mr. McPherson and Ms. Smith, they extended the opportunity for me to present to their staffs for the NIET rubric because of my experience with that, and I appreciated that. I met my cousins, and I'm just looking forward to an awesome year with you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next, I want to introduce Ms. Kimberly Lewis Gordon. She joined us in the spring. She is our college and career coach.
Hi, good evening, board. It's been an honor since April that I stepped foot at St. Helena College and Career Academy. I'm a resident of Tangipahoa Parish, but if I had the opportunity, I would move to St. Helena. The response that I have been given and the encouragement, and it's just been overwhelming. I have been involved with learners since April. My focus is to get our learners the respect, put them on the mark, and to show the other districts that St. Helena is the place to be. I've been overwhelmed since yesterday with juniors and seniors and schedule changes, but with the support of Ms. Brown reaching out, my goal is to be the most effective academic college and career counselor I can be. I've been dealing with parents and have had the best rapport with them. Everybody been telling me, watch out, this and that, but it's been overwhelming. It's just been a joy to work with them. I look forward to continuing this path, and if you need anything, just reach out. I am an open book. My door is always open. The learners know that, and we're just looking forward to a great year. Thank you.
Our newest addition to St. Helena College and Career Academy is our school resource officer, Mr. Chad Dupuy, and he came here tonight to meet everyone.
I am Chad Dupuy with the Sheriff's Office, but I just want to thank, I don't even know where to start, I guess. I don't even know how it came about, but the board, Dr. Kelly Joseph, the opportunity to do the school resource officer thing. I think it was needed. Been doing it for 5 years, got about 17 years in law enforcement, 6 years in the military. But so far this week, there's been a huge response of, I don't know, what I get is good feelings. and happiness and kids having fun, and that's what I've explained to them. Hey, we're here to have fun. That's all everything is about, and show love. That's all we want. But I do want to say, I do challenge you to the step count every day, so we're going to see who takes the most. But if y'all have any questions of me, or I do plan on running some security stuff and see what we could do to step up safety on the campuses, and go over with teachers and principals, bounce some stuff off of, and see what we could get fixed, whatnot, just kind of work together on that kind of stuff. But if y'all have any questions of us, me, the sheriff, we're more than happy to answer and help out where we can.
Thank you. All right. So now let's change the topic now. We're going to talk about our preliminary 2024 LEAP results. So as you know, our vision in St. Helena Parish School District is to create an equitable, productive school culture that increases learner success, develops educator effectiveness, and builds public confidence. And these are not just words that we recite. These are things that we try to do every single day to make sure that our vision comes into fruition. Our 2024 focus is systems, structures, processes, and outcomes. And these are the things that we talked about during our Leadership Summit and Board Retreat. And we mean what we say. We are going to put these structures in place to make sure that we have some good, solid things in place to make sure that our kids become successful and that we produce the positive outcomes that we want. So let's dive right into it. So first, I want to go over our English language arts scores. So the report as it is, it gives you a breakdown for 2023 and 2024. And it shows you how many learners scored at the advanced, mastery, basic, approaching basic, and unsatisfactory levels. Then it also gives you the total number of our learners that were tested. And then moving over to the last set of columns, it gives you the number of advanced and mastery, the number of advanced, mastery, and basic, because although the State Department does not recognize or report on kids who score basic, we still receive points, for kids who do score basic. And then I have the number of our learners who score below basic. That is the approaching basic and unsatisfactory levels. And then I provided you with the percentage of our kids at the advanced and mastery levels, and then the percentage of our kids at the advanced, mastery, and basic level. All right. So for English, in 2023, we had 4 kids that scored advanced, 62 mastery, 86 basic, 132 approaching basic, and 169 unsatisfactory. That's a total number of 453 of our learners who tested in ELA that year. 2024, we had 5 kids that scored advanced, 78 that scored mastery, 116 who scored basic, 115 approaching basic, and then 122 unsatisfactory. That's a total of 436 of our learners who tested. So the difference between 2023 and 2024, we have 1 more kid that scored advanced. We have 8, take my glasses off, I'm sorry. We have 16 kids who scored, more kids who scored mastery, 30 more kids scored basic, 17 less kids scored approaching basic, and 47 less kids that scored at the unsatisfactory levels. So moving over, you see that the number of advanced and mastery kids grew to 17. The number of advanced and mastery and basic grew to 47. The number of below basic was reduced by 64 kids. So that put us at the percentage of advanced and mastery increased to 4%. It went from 15% to 19%. And then the percent of our kids who scored at the advanced, mastery, and basic levels grew 12%. from 34% to 46%. Under that, you see just the percentages of our kids who scored at each of the achievement levels. For math, so I just wanted to go over how that report is, written out. So for math, from the difference between 2023 and 2024, we had one more kid to score advanced. We stayed the same with mastery at 27. 23 more kids scored basic. 2 more kids scored approaching basic, but 50 less kids scored unsatisfactory. So we had, as far as the number of kids scoring at the advanced and mastery levels, we had one more learner that scored at that level. 24 more scored at the advanced mastery and basic level. 48 less kids scored below basic. So for our percentage, that's 1% increase from 2023, and a 7% increase of our kids at the advanced mastery and basic levels in math. So we saw an increase across the board for math. And the last thing is science, because we did not test social studies last year because it was field tested. They're changing that test. This year coming up, it will count. So for science, you see where we had less kids scored advanced, 2 less kids scored advanced, but 6 more scored mastery, 11 less scored basic, 29 less scored approaching basic, and 2 less scored unsatisfactory. So that put us at the percent of advanced and mastery. We increased to 1.6%, and then we increased 1% for the kids who scored at the advanced mastery and basic levels. So overall, total subjects, we increased. The number of advanced and mastery grew by 22. The number of advanced mastery and basic grew to 64. The number of kids scoring below basic was reduced by 143. That put us at the percentage of advanced and mastery at increasing from 9% to 11%. That's 2.3%. And then the number of our kids scoring at the advanced mastery and basic grew from 26% to 33%, which is a 7% increase. So overall, we saw an increase in the number of our kids who, improved their test scores. This is just test scores for 3rd through 8th grade. We will receive our letter grade in the fall, probably around in November. We'll receive the scores. So, but based on how well they performed on the test, it's an indicator that we will see an increase in our performance this November. Any questions? We should also see an increase in our graduation rate as well, from 84.4 to, what do you think it would be? About 92%, around 92%. So we are still moving forward. As you know, we know where we are and we know where we want to be. And the question is, how do we get there and what do we do? So as we talked about during our Leadership Summit and Board Retreat, we must be clear about our outcomes. What do we want our outcomes to be? And how do we make sure that we put those systems, structures, and processes in place to make sure things are running the way they need to run and that the kids in the classroom, our learners, are mastering the content, and that our teachers are mastering and understanding what they teach, and they do it at high levels. It is very important that we do all of that, as well as understand that although we are seeing improvement and we do have one more year of this accountability system, it will change after that year. And so we are preparing now to get ready for that accountability system. In particular, and I do appreciate you approving the memorandum of understanding for us to be able to enter into agreements with local business and industry so that we can provide internships for our learners. So we are focused on that, and we're really going to dive deep this year in making sure that our learners understand the content, but also making sure it's done in a safe environment where they feel, good about what they're doing, and they ask the questions, they do all of the things necessary, they fully are full participants in the lesson every day, but then also that they come to school every day, and they come to school on time, and they leave on time, right? We want to reduce the number of our learners who come to school tardy and who leave early. We need for them to be in class every day, ready to learn. So we are going to really push hard to establish a stronger relationship with our families in the community, to get them to understand the importance of their learners doing their very best every single day. We do have systems in place in our pupil progression plan that will speak to our seriousness of them doing their best and passing these exams. We grow every year, we just don't grow fast enough. And we need to find that, that sweet spot where our parents have an understanding of the importance of them being successful on these assessments, that our learners have an understanding of what it means to, pass these tests, and that our teachers and our administrators and all of the adults understand that we work together to make sure that our learners are successful every day. And with that concludes my report. Any questions? All right, thank you.
All right. Approved committee reports from August the 8th, 2024.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Joyce Porter,
Second.
second by Mr. George Hughes. Any questions? No questions shall pass by general consent. Next item, meeting closing date. The next meeting will be September 12th, 2024, 5:45 for our committee meeting. And 6
We got
o'clock.
that special meeting.
Yeah, we have the special meeting on August the 29th. At 6 o'clock. And then our next regular board meeting will be September the 12th, 2024. 5:45 committee meeting, 6 o'clock. Regular board meeting. Closing comment. Any board members?
I have something, Mr. Chairman. We have a family group text, and one of my siblings put in the text this morning, and I just want to read this to all of us and for the principals, assistant principals, faculty, and staff. It says, we're going to pray that all our students have a successful school year. Encourage them to stay focused, positive, and they can handle anything, they can handle whatever they're faced with. Go and be successful with our learners and our students, and with God, remember, all things are possible. That's my remark.
Any other board member?
Yeah, I would like to say to the directors, y'all did a very good job and got right to the point, and it was excellent. I did lose a bet on y'all, but it's all right.
Okay, I would just like to say, please keep the Sharkey family in prayer. I've known them a long time. A good family, good family, good person he was. I saw an article from Livingston Parish that they post on Mr. Sharkey, and he was standing in our gymnasium at the high school. That picture was there. And that means a lot when you do business and you give back to the community. So with that being said, I'm moving on now to the administrators. This is the beginning of a new year. And I'm quite sure all of you can see that I'm very passionate about the students here in St. Helena Parish. This is where I grew up. This is where I reside. I'm a proud citizen of St. Helena College and Career Academy, not St. Helena High School, St. St. Helena College and Career Academy. I was the first class that completed the whole year at St. Helena College and Career Academy. I'm very, very passionate about it. These are our kids.
Correct.
And I get very, very, not mad, but I get very emotional because I'm passionate about our kids. And if you're not here for our kids, then something's wrong. Because these are our kids. These are the people that will lead the future of St. Helena Parish. And if you can't go in that classroom every day, and I said every day, and give those kids 150%, then something wrong. And I don't care what you go through in life, because I too, I'm a teacher, and I understand. Whatever go on in my house, whatever go on between me leaving my house and getting to work, I leave it in my car. Don't bring these problems to our kids, because they don't need it. And I'm gonna tell you right now, they've been gone all summer.
That's right.
You don't know what these kids have endured during the course of the summer. So I'm asking you to provide your faculty with the support that they need in order to make sure that these learners are getting what they need. Because we don't know. We can assume, but we don't know what these kids are going through. But if you're a good teacher, if you're a good administrator, I said it, and I'm going to say it again. If you're a good teacher,
Amen.
if you're a good administrator, you know when your kids are going through something. Encourage your teachers to be at that door to meet those kids in the morning. Encourage your teachers to be at that door when those students leave in the evening time. Because guess what? You don't know what those kids go through. Those kids need you. And if you can't build that relationship with them, then you missing out. We had a speaker on Tuesday, and the young man said that he hated teachers. Why, sir? Because he said his teacher never took the time, and he was being abused at home. But his teachers never took the time to find out what was truly going on with him. Because they didn't take that time. You have to build a relationship with students. And a child is not going to open up to you unless they feel comfortable with saying those things to you. And let them know. Listen, we could talk about all the SPS scores in the state. But guess what? Those kids can't perform if they have things going on at home.
That's true.
No matter what you tell them, no matter what y'all pour into them, they're not going to have that growth mindset unless they know you care. So you there? I'm asking you to care for our kids.
Yes.
And trust and believe me, I will come. The first chance I get, I will be at those schools. I'm going to walk those campuses. Because guess what? When I come, I want to see teachers up teaching. I don't want to see teachers sitting behind the desk. Because you can't teach at the desk. You need to teach. You need to walk. You need to move. You need to interact. Like they say, move, interact, and scan to see what these kids are doing. To make sure they are doing the things they need to do. Y'all have a great school year. But remember, it's all about our children.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm here. Thank you very much.
All right.
Any other comments?
We need to remember Miss Donna
Jackson's
Jackson's family.
Yes,
Mhm.
please keep her in a prayer, in your prayer, because she lost a relative. So do please keep her in your prayer as well. Miss Clark?
I'll be walking the campus too. I'll be sliding across the campus. I'll be getting there.
Not to insult the rest of the board members, but Ms. Bell, I'd like to thank you for what you brought to our teachers the other day. It wasn't just the candy and the cards, but the letter you brought them about what a teacher makes. I sent that out on my email and I posted it next to the time clock, and I didn't get anything but positive responses for that. In case y'all haven't read that, you really need to read it. It points out exactly what a teacher does and how they accomplish it. And thank you for that, Ms. Bell. We appreciate it.
Any other comments? That
That's so blue.
last one, all yeas, this meeting is adjourned.